Alright, let's give it a second. Give me one moment to set some stuff up. Alright. Just a few more things and we'll be ready to start here. Okay. It has definitely been a while since I've actually worked on this project. Just slight disclaimer. Yeah, I think it's been like at least since the last live stream that I did, it's been at least 5 years, which is kind of nuts. But you know, I'm notorious for never being able to finish anything, so it's kind of par for the course. So we got our work cut out for us. But I don't know. Just wanted to do a little more work on it. You know, part of the fun of this is just adding a little bit by bit. So figured that's what I'd do. But just for those who like don't know anything about how far I am on this project or anything, I've streamed it a few times in the past, but you know, just on and off. Making a Attack on Titan kind of story-based coaster, so it's not supposed to be like realistic or whatever. But you know, we got the town here with the Colossal Titan, and then we got these little mini Titans. Well, mini, more to scale pure Titans, wreaking havoc on the city, and that's basically what we've got. And then we got this coaster going through, and it has kind of follows like a story. So here I can let's do a little test run. The basic like plot, if you want to call it that, is that like you know you're a soldier like patrolling around just inside the wall, and then you hear the thunder from the Colossal Titan appearing, and then you go into the city and it's just you know chaos. It's more of an experience coaster than a story coaster, I'd say. But the way that I wanted to kind of have the coaster move is as if you're using maneuver gear, so I tried to like keep it realistic to like anchor points and stuff, as you can see with the Steam. That part is not fully fleshed out, I'd say. You know, certain points it's a little less like I haven't really added the logical anchor points and stuff, but that's kind of the general thinking that went into how it moves. So there's the flash. And then you enter the city because you're like, oh, something's going on. And enter through the main gates. I need to add some more sound effects like that. It's definitely lacking at the moment. There's a few like story beats I'd like to try to hit. Whether or not that's actually possible is a whole nother thing. But yeah, we're just gonna be adding a few details here and there and getting back into the swing of things, because it's actually been quite a while since I've actually built something in Planco. So then over here we have some possible movements for the coaster. It looks like too that I wasn't as good at smoothing as I am now, so I will have to go through and fix that a bit. But you get the general idea. So we have the castle here. and the coaster kind of going on horseback until it rises up for the maneuver gear sections. We have the little training area. As far as I'm planning currently, this is all going to be like during the daytime, so I'm not going to worry too much about like lighting or anything. So this is pretty much how the training area looks like. These little slight lag. There's probably going to be a few lag jolts here and there. Just the straight portion of this wall is easily like I think it's 34,000 pieces. So that's like not even including everything else. So every once in a while we might have a few hitches like that, and I apologize. I have a much better PC than I did when I started this, but you know, can only do so much. Like it's all up to what PlanCode can handle. But you know, we got the gate over here. Oops, some windmills and little extra village bits out here. There's not much room considering this is the very entrance of the park. I wanted to use as much space as possible for the actual ride itself. Because space is difficult to deal with. But yeah, we have the side of the gate here with the emblem. I remember a long time ago making that out of shovels. Lots and lots of shovels. That was a nightmare. But I think it worked out. Then we have this main avenue that I've been trying to add a little more to. Before, I didn't really have much going on terrain-wise, and I feel like it was lacking, so that was the most recent little bits off-stream, like here and there, adding stuff like rubble and more texture to the ground that I feel like adds a lot. Even just like the plants and stuff and the coloring with like a little bit of gravel and grass spotted around, I think does a whole lot of help to make things a little more interesting. Because like, you're rushing by it, but you still, your eyes might catch a few things here and there, like the big stuff like the boulders, but I mean they're still they're still like steaming and stuff, and adds to the kind of like natural disaster field. I don't remember where I ended up hiding those speakers. They're either in the buildings or they're underground. But the sounds that I've kind of narrowed down for the Titans is like the people screaming sounds from some of the DLCs, but slowed down. You get that kind of like creepy, like zombie-like almost scream, but at the right scale. It might be in his head somewhere. These Titans are made of a bunch of basic shapes. They're kind of balloon looking, but I don't really like to use ThemeMaker Toolkit assets. Like, I just like the challenge of making stuff on my own. So I think that's, I think they're passable quality wise. But yeah, let's start off by adding a few more of those triggered sounds because I feel like it adds a lot to it, and I was actually surprised that there's only the one. I think it's under here somewhere. I don't see it. Actually, it might be... It sounds like it's right here. Is it underneath the track or something? I think it would be a lot easier if I just actually searched it from the trigger point, so I will do that. Whew. Oh yeah, all these are all the steam jets, I remember. What's around here? 17? Park speaker, where are you? Is it not high? Oh, I don't know. Can I not? Oh, here we go. Is it not actually highlighted? It's somewhere right there, apparently. I'm guessing it's underground then. Well, we'll just have to wing finding that sound effect again. This one I'm most happy with, just like the position and stuff. These houses take absolutely forever as well. Doing these bent walls, have to use the backs of windows, but I think it it makes a desirable effect, so I think it's worth it. Let's take this first step of not display. Triggered? Triggered. Let's find those sounds again. I believe it's the like crying sounds from the spooky pack. Somewhere in here. Oh, I didn't actually. I was like, oh, why is it not playing? I didn't set it to a sound. I didn't hit OK. I always do this. Let's see. The screen. I think it's a little too high. Yeah. Snow might be a different section. There's no. It might work. It's a little long for my taste, though. It's got to be in here somewhere. It might actually be in the regular stuff. Oh, I think I saw it. Yeah. That's what I used. That's really the only one, huh? That one actually. I think that one's pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. So let's stick them right here. I think that's a good volume. So right around the explosion, I think we can use the same trigger. Let's see, 18? Yeah, 18. No, not you. Just you. Confirm. Alright, let's test out that timing, see how it goes. Just gonna skip forward to that section since we've just seen all this. Right here. Might need to delay it a little more because it's not quite as long as that other one, but I do like the pitch and everything. I think it fits well. Let's try adding a few more seconds to that. Let's go through this again. Luckily it's not too long, at least as of yet. Alright, let's try it. The first one is kind of what we're going for with the second one. It's not too bad. This one I feel like, okay, that's pretty good. One problem with the Titans that I do have is that I made like a select few of different sizes, and I haven't really edited them all that much. Like you see this one and this one are exactly the same. This one's kind of just here for a placeholder. This one I had to change a little bit, but I do feel like it could be reaching out a little better. So we're gonna attempt to edit this arm. It's been a long time since I've done anything this this meticulous in this game, so we are going to give it a shot. Seems pretty good. I get a little more interesting than just standing there. Ever since I made this one too, I cannot get out of my head that it looks like He-Man. Later on I need to go through and just like look at actual Titans from the show and maybe try to edit them to look a little more varied like those ones. I remember when first making these big old statues of Titans, I tried my best to like, you know, because these are like the biggest basic shapes that we have. And you know, basic shapes are the most versatile, so they just seemed like the logical thing to start with when trying to construct these. But they're very balloon-like, so I figured trying to edit them to look a little more like at least the musculature wouldn't hurt too much. I think this is good though. Might need to try to extend the arm a little bit. There we go. So I'm gonna start off by raising or straightening the top part of the arm here. And then lowering the second half. Like that. Oh, whoa. Gotta get a better angle on that. Oh, it looks like I screwed up the elbow, but, you know, fix that in post. Might need to rotate the arm a little bit, but let's do this first. You move. It's facing the wrong way, but that'll get it a little close. Oh, it looks like this, am I editing the wrong? No. Funny enough, it looks like I, a long time ago, placed some rubble while still having this building selected. I think that happened with a lot of buildings here, which, you know, it's a little disorganized, but it kind of works. As long as it's nothing like nearby, like these buildings. If they were part of the same like object, then it would get a little messy because, you know, selecting stuff is a little difficult if you're selecting everything at once. That's why it's kind of good to group large stuff like this together. Something like that might be good. There we go. Let's experiment with moving the fingers a bit. Kind of splay him out like he's reaching for something, you know? That's gonna happen in the background, by the way. I like to leave the coaster running just in case, like I need to test it or something, I guess. It's just easier that way, but it's gonna trigger those explosions from time to time, so I apologize for that. Let me know if it's a little too annoying. There we go, I think that's more interesting. I didn't make some different faces for these guys for sure, because, yeah, look at that. This guy's paired with all this rubble too. I must have had it selected a long time ago while I was placing. This is like one of the biggest early projects I've ever had in this game, so it's the building techniques here are not great. Not that I really have improved all that much, but you know, at least I can identify it. Alright, here we go. That's a lot more interesting. It almost gives like illusion of motion there too. Let's add some human screams in here, shall we? Let's spice it up a little bit. It's not a sentence most people would say, but you know. Screeb. That's too happy. I think that's good. Maybe add a few in there. Let's try it out with the triggers, see what happens. Bring it around. We want it to like continue as it's passing, so I might have to trigger it a few times. I will say, since making this, they've added a lot more like support for triggers to like be able to change sounds and stuff like that, and like color changes for lighting. And for that, I am definitely grateful. Let's try to just duplicate this and play it a few times to get that like more frantic feeling. I don't know how that'll do, but let's give it a try. Oh, perfect. Let's take a listen. I might need to turn up the sound effects. Okay, maybe not. It is so much louder when you're on ride, so I gotta turn that down a little bit. Oh, and if you're wondering, those blood splatters is the icing decal, which is kind of funny. Oh, it's attached to sequence, so I can't actually change it. That's annoying. Wish I could just set it, you know? It's just... It looks like the timing for it works really well, though. So let's try doing this. Move it from the triggers. There we go. Let's reduce the volume back to 70. That's pretty good. Okay. And then triggers, then add it back. And let's just try it at 5 and duplicate it and have it play again at 6. I think that was good. Let's give it a test. I really need to work on smoothing out some of these turns and stuff. It's rough. Pretty good. It's not bad. I kind of want to start it earlier, so you're like actually passing it than hearing it happen right then. So I will quickly, I think 3 would be good. Let's start it over. Do let me know if like me writing it, fast forward is like causing motion sickness or anything, because I could always do it like this too. It's just a matter of getting it to the spot to test out the specific trigger we want. It's not bad. Okay, pretty good. Oh, come on, game. Don't fail at me now. Alright, I'm gonna save. Gotta save frequently with this thing. I might need to start making backups as well. I think I have an old one, but it's frankly, it's been a while. Let's see. I might want to try to make like an abnormal that's like, some of them are like spiders, you know? I gotta think though, if I put one up there, I don't think it would be visible, because I want this one to definitely be like the first close one you see, but if I stick it up here, I think it's obscured enough. Oh, hey Corby, how you doing? I stooped so low. I know. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I checked. I think I told you on the Discord message, but it's been 5 years since the last time I actually streamed this, meaning that's like the last time I actually made like considerable progress, which is kind of scary to think about because like it's a long time. I can't finish any project, man. So I wanted to get some progress in. I'm gonna use this guy. I'm gonna have to change his head probably, but I'll use it as a basis. Let's see. Yes, this is not Madoka Magica. Actually, let me pull up a picture to work from. Wow, these images are very entertaining out of context. Let's see. Oh, I cannot spell. I think this one's the best image we're gonna get, so let me just do this. It's the best way of showing this on stream. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Image. Find the image real quick. Downloads. Here it is. So we're and I hit cancel. So this is what we're gonna try to base this guy off of. You guys see that? I'll just stick it up in the corner here. So we're gonna try to get him like that, just like over here on the roof. So let me get it pulled up on my screen real quick. Okay. So let's start with these arms. His name's Stinky. I'm fine with that. Oh, actually, I should group these first because, yeah, these are not part of a building, and that's going to be very problematic. So let's find a wall piece. or a column, something grid based. Just stick it right there. Okay. Then we will select all of them together. I'm gonna have to select this building, aren't I? There we go. Nothing else selected. Good, good. Add scenery to select building. Perfect. And now we can edit this without having to worry about selecting a bunch of wall pieces, because I swear every time I click on that wall in the background, we get like a few solid seconds of lag, so just move my windows around here. Let's see. So I want him to be kind of like holding onto the building. Let's start with moving around this hand a little bit. Worry about the hand first and then do the rest of the arm, because there's less pieces in the arm. Okay, let's deselect all this. Just got to keep the parts kind of together. That way I at least can recognize what each part is for. Oh, there goes. Oh no. I'm gonna want to wrap his fingers around the roof like he's holding on to it. There we go. Kind of bring this down a little bit and curl it inward. These things are all made of basic shapes, so it's a little difficult to work with, but you know, it's not impossible. It just takes a while. It's definitely this reason and not that I just procrastinate and don't ever finish projects that it's been so long. Let's see. I think this, actually, I should select the whole finger here, kind of rotate it around. Oh, there's actually another piece in there. Oh yeah, I see it right there. There we go. Kind of curl it downward a little bit. As long as the roof piece doesn't poke out of the finger, I think it'll look fine. This is all part of the first section. Actually, I think this is part of the longer part of the finger, so use that as like a joint. Oop, that's the wrong direction. We gotta find a smoother transition for that. Raise it up a little bit and move it backwards. There we go. And then just kind of tilt this downward. Pardon the coaster just flying off the track in the background. Kind of just building this as I go too, so that's partially why I like the track. It's just all over the place. I need to move the thumb out because you need it for balance. And to kind of grab on, you know, you want it to be a little more spread out than that. All this weight is going to be kind of pointing forward. So I could probably bend these in a little more, but it's gonna look a little weird. There's got to be an equal ground in here somewhere. These pieces are so huge, so something like that doesn't look too bad. That's a little weird. Do something like that. Something like that. Kind of extend them a bit. This guy's got lanky fingers. It's fine. They don't all have to be exactly the same, because there's no individuality between these things, and all of them in the show are pretty unique. So there we go. That looks like it's grabbing on. We got to get that kind of okay. So the next part, select this whole arm, kind of rotate it around. Sticky Log Fingers is his whole name. I love it. Let's see, it's gonna have to be pointing outward a lot, so we're gonna move it like this. I feel like giving these guys really weird positions and stuff will also make them a little more interesting, because right now a bunch of them look exactly the same or are standing completely straight up and down. And I mean, it's been a while since I've made this, so I'm a little more comfortable with controls and stuff. Obviously not enough to select the entire arm though. But you know, like, could get a little more variation in there, make it a little more fun. It's been so long building this project, you might as well just take your time with it. I might need to make that arm a little longer, because this needs to definitely be bent a little more. Could always move it after. I'm gonna move this section. Something like that. And move it down. The axes are being a little weird, so that's fine. Let's pull this in a little bit. I feel like these sections could do with being a little thicker. That could just be solved by going like that. There we go. Okay, so that is the arm. It's Doodle Bob. I might need to point this in a different direction, actually. Let's take his body now, just to see where the other arm will connect. It's the best way of selecting this. Something like this. And deselect the rest. Any face parts, arm, legs, hands, fingers. Just want the torso. Oh, and get rid of that. So you can get it all. Looks like it. It's gonna be just like that guy, practically like pointing directly at the coaster. Something like that. Let's keep it on item axes. I think that's pretty good. Might need to turn it a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Perfect. Let's see. We'll do the head last because I'm gonna have to change how this one looks. Just because it's the exact same model as the first one you see. We want to make them all unique, you know? Gotta deselect all of the leg parts because they're kind of intersecting. Whoa, what happened? Oh, I accidentally hit Shift D, which I think copied. Let me just reselect that. Deselect all that, deselect that. All right, we're good. Good. Just do the arm. Kind of have it bending backwards a bit. It was really wonky right now, but I just gotta move some of the parts around. So bear with me. I think that's good right there. Perfect. Okay. Have him kind of grabbing this side as well. Gotta keep to his name. Sticky log figures, like Scorby for that one. Okay. Kind of move his hand out a little bit. I just have the OST on shuffle in the background, if you're wondering. There's no like logical order to this, so. You know, just general Attack on Titaniness. Let's get that finger wrapped around the building. Probably something like that would be good, because like he could be kind of anchoring himself on the building there. Funnily enough, I can only find a playlist with what looks like the first few seasons, like maybe to season 2, maybe to season 3 worth of OST. I actually couldn't find one that included season 4. Although I'm sure it's out there, I just, you know, in my quick search I couldn't find anything. And miraculously, back when I used to do this with the soundtrack in the background, I never got like copyright stricken or anything. It's not even restricted. Well, like, you know, I don't monetize these, so that's probably a little bit why. But like, this will be an interesting experiment to see if that's still the case these many years later. I think you'd have to be like that a little bit, huh? Something like that. And then let's get the rest of this. I think this is the top of his arm up here. So let's move it this way and attach it. Might need to do some moving of individual parts here and there, but you know, little by little. There we go. It's starting to take shape now. There we go. At least it's connected. Let's see how that looks. It's not bad. Need to mess with this a little bit. Although I think that's right where the neck goes, so I don't think we'll have to worry about that too much. But yeah, we got him kind of like standing there, and then we'll put the legs kind of connected back here. So let's start with this leg. Like I said, I'm going to do the face last because I think that's going to be the hardest part. It's been a long time since I made one of these from scratch too, I will say, but we'll see how it turns out. I got to add some like broken parts to this building as well, because obviously a Titan putting its like full body weight into the building is going to break it somewhat. But that's the little details. I'm going to start with this. Maybe I'll actually move his toes up. Because he's kind of like bracing against the... Yeah, there we go. Just a little extra. Give him a longer toe too. There we go. A little too long there. Yeah, that guy's more spider-like, so looks like that's interesting. I didn't realize how short the top parts of their legs were on the original. I might have to extend that a bit because I don't know if that's going to actually be able to make it to the rest of the body, but we can give it a try. It's looking good. Something like that. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be close. I might just have to extend it just a little bit. Yeah, definitely. But it does connect right there. Should be a little higher. Something like that. And then take the base here, copy it, and extend it a little bit. I need to move that kneecap for sure as well, because it would not be on the back side. Also, it looks kind of like he's breaking his leg, so let's bend this down a little bit. There we go. It's a little better. There we go. Let's see, can you see the main body from here? I don't think you can, which is good. That's what we want. He's kind of like leaning down enough for it to not really show, except for, you know, the giant floating head, but that won't be there. I think the other foot can be like right around here. Okay, let's get it in the right position. Let's start with the foot again, and then work from the leg. I think that's good right there, yeah. Maybe to angle it a little more, almost to look like he's about to lunge, you know? Because like he's getting like that angle of like the launch point right there. So let's just bend it a little bit. Use that wall to hide the little extra bits of the foot. That's not what I wanted, but it's fine. This side doesn't have to be as well hidden with the bottom section there, because you're not really going to see it. There we go. Kind of just rotate this. Actually, the rest of the leg needs to be selected as well, because it's a pretty good position. It just needs to be attached to the rest of the body. That's pretty good right there. Rotate it a little more. Yes, like that. Maybe extend it a little bit just so the connection doesn't look as weird. You know, small adjustments like that won't show very won't show up as bad when you're like racing past it, you know. It's more of the general idea. It's gonna rotate it a bit. I'll do a little more just to hide that extra bit to prevent it from sticking out the back end. Something like that. How's that? That's pretty good. The head's kind of terrifying up there, but you know, it's still a work in progress. All right, I like that. Let's work on getting the face. We can try to make the face just slightly resemble the one from the reference photo. I'm not entirely worried about it being like a perfect replica. I just used it more for the general body shape. Let's see. Oh god. Oh god, it's it's even worse. With the head right there. That's terrifying right there. Don't need to fix it. Let's do something like this. I definitely think his mouth should be open, because it's partially what makes that other one so, like, animal. Looks like he's going to talk to you about his car's extended warranty. Yep, I mean, nothing could be scarier than that, alright? There. How's that? Gotta change the head to make it, like, to differentiate it a bit, but I think that's a great position. I'm definitely going to want to change the eyes to, like, hit the character, because I think that would make it all the more scary. But let's see if I can get just the bottom jaw. Say tilted a little bit. That's very difficult for me to translate into this from chat. I will be frank with you. Like, tilt what towards what? Are you thinking? Okay, well, I didn't mean to do that, but I did Shift D again. Let's just do this. Okay, that's good. I can edit it as well. Yeah, it's gonna need a little more attention than this. Something like that, though, is pretty intimidating already. I'm gonna have to mess with his mouth, for sure, but it's working out. Let's see, this is supposed to be the roof of his mouth. I accidentally selected it. His teeth need to be moved down as well, since they're much more prevalent for this model. There we go. Or much more important, I should say. I'm gonna move this out, stuff like this, or at least move it far back. Pieces like this are more meant to get like a void in their mouth, but I'm not sure what I did. What did I do with ones like this? I did more red. I think red would work better. So this section might be for the head. Nope. Let's just get rid of that piece for now. This bit's gonna move back as well. We'll worry about the inside of the mouth in a little bit. Let's give him a little more of a nose. I'm just, like, you'd be surprised how much just adding a few little details like this can help you differentiate some of these titans. I need to make his face a little bigger too, because it doesn't really fit with this nose. Oh, that's not gonna work. I was hoping that the align to surface would actually align it this way, but it seems like it aligns it up and down, which is interesting. Yeah, since you're here, Corbin, how's the like audio mixing? Is anything too loud? Usually no one's here to ask, so I want to make sure that like it at least sounds good. Okay, that's good. I need to add a little more to the bottom of the face. I think that's good. I want the teeth to be a little lower, so I'm gonna cover this up. Okay, let's get those teeth out here. It's not even full set, is it? Hidden in here? Oh, wow. Oh, I accidentally picked up some of it, that's why. Let's get rid of it. Everything fine? Okay, that's good. this would be good. Okay. Move this forward a little bit. There's no easy way to do this with this setup, is there? I got a lot of editing to do with this guy's face. It's falling apart a bit. I got kind of complacent with building these Titans before. So I'd really like them to turn out a little more, like, unique. That's why I'm taking so much time just on the one. Let's get the rest of his head in there. That's pretty good. Need to add, I'm thinking of closing the mouth a little bit, because a lot of them ended up like this, but I mean, as you can see from the reference image, like, not all of them have the, like, overextended split mouths, so it might be good to have a little bit of variety in that sense. We'll see how that turns out. I think that'll already give it a lot more uniqueness in that sense. Let's move this up a bit, not the window, please. Thank you. Okay, that's good. Let's do the same on the other side. Right around the second tooth on the top three. Around there. There we go. That's pretty good. I'll move this stuff up a little bit. Clean it up here and there. It's not quite rotated correctly either. These pieces do not really make it easy to rotate stuff like this because they're so, like, bulbous. But I thought that they were the best candidates for, like, muscle and stuff for these characters. Allows the most freedom, so I will stick with them. I think this is a bit much. It's just got front teeth. I will fix that up. Accidentally hit Z. I was wondering what that sound was. Okay. I will say, striving for just kind of basic looking Titans and not going for exact replicas of certain characters is a lot easier than making, like, replicas of characters. Like, I remember it took me quite a while to get the Colossal Titan at least to a spot where, like, I felt like it was recognizable. There's still saying that there's, like, one angle that looks much better than the other angle. I can show in a second. That's pretty good though. I gotta change the rest of the head and move the eyes to be staring at the coaster, but I might need to tilt the head up a bit actually. Oops. Let's try it right there. I think this is what Corby was talking about. Oh, that's not what I wanted, but I did select it. that. That looks better. That's a much better angle, I think. Resembles the reference as well. I saw a hole in his face. Yeah, there it is. I forgot to add this. Double check that it can't be seen from the front. Might do a quick ride through just to see how that looks as well. I'm gonna save real quick because who knows what'll happen. It's pretty good. What was I gonna say? Okay, let's see if we can get something more fitting. Sure. Let's do a quick ride there just to see how the angles and everything are working out. I originally had like a specific mix of certain songs for the soundtrack for the actual ride, which I unfortunately lost the exact mix, but I do remember like which tracks I was thinking of having where. So this is no way like the final music that's gonna be. But you know, sets the mood. I gotta add the maneuver gear effects to the actual city section of the ride as well. I did it out here, but then I think I did it for like the first half of the city section. But that's kind of like late stage stuff, you know. You gotta know where all the buildings and everything are before you can add effects. Let's see if the soundtrack actually lines up. That's pretty good. Close enough. Alright, here we go. So I don't think you can see him on the left there. Yeah, that's good. The first one you see is to the left there. I need to add more sounds like that, definitely. This guy's actually reaching for you now, which is good. I don't think any of the mist effects can actually reach that far to make it, because it would be great if we could have like clouds behind the Colossal Titan, but I don't think there's. Yeah, I really like that position for that guy. I really don't think there's a feasible way to get clouds behind him, so which is sad. But I mean, I could use like a billion basic shapes, but it might just end up looking like up instead of actual steam, because these things are very balloon-like. Let's see if we can work out a bit of a tongue for this guy. Let's check the basic shapes. I think this is, yeah, that's an extra large, so maybe I can do a smaller one. Where am I looking? Scenery, not buildings. There they are. That's the wrong type piece. I think I used the half circles. Yeah, these ones. Oh, this guy's got to go to the doctor. He's got his tongue shouldn't look like that. Do this. Oh, there we go. I was wondering why the camera controls weren't quite working. This still looks a little big. Something like this. Kind of off-center it a bit to give it a little more, make it a little crazy looking. Yeah, I do like that. Let's see, do we have, are these pieces? That's a cube, that's not a rectangle. He's the same. It's the wrong axis, but it's generally the same. I feel like if I move it over to the side, it'll make it a little more obvious that it's not just the, you know, part of his mouth. I kind of want it to hang over just slightly. I can't get that correct angle. Oh, there you go. Sun world axis, or yeah, there we go. Kind of bend it down a little bit. Yeah, it looks good. And then give it a much darker inside of the mouth, like the other ones. Try to cover up that neck stem. Much as possible. It's gonna look a little wonky up close, but this guy's not supposed to be looked at up close, so we should be fine. Just so the tongue kind of looks different, because if it's all red, you know, in the back, it's gonna be hard to see. There we go. Yeah, check that out. Pretty good. I think we need to move the eyes still. Let's see. And also, I still need to edit the face a little bit. Can make his eyes a little darker as well to differentiate him. Too dark. It needs to be dark enough or light enough so I can still see the eyes. Oh, that is... God, I keep accidentally duplicating them. Let's just do that and that. Four items selected. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna have to fine-tune these for sure, but... something like that should do. Let's move it. I'm looking mostly on this first eye here. I think that's better. I need to move this one for sure, but I can do this, so that way I still have it selected. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's good. Let's change the shape of the head now. You give him ears as well. Or at least something that looks like it. And then I'll make his head a little thicker because this original one, his head's kind of shrimpy. It's not, there ain't much room for the old brain in there, but I guess that's accurate as well for the pure Titans. Doesn't quite look like ears, but if anything, it gives his head a more distinctive shape than the other Titans. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why they. Sometimes the axes when moving objects gets kind of funky. Let's do that. Okay. Let's also just change his hair color because that's a really easy way to make them a little more unique. We'll use the reference photo that we have just for the heck of it. It's a little browner. Not quite that brown though. I like that. Yeah. Let's try making him look like this guy. His head's a little flatter, but a little taller as well. I gotta rotate that for sure. Let's move forward a bit, and I'm gonna have to give him more of a forehead as a result. No, I gotta use the bigger pieces for this. Something like this. We can always fill in the little gaps with extra pieces afterwards. Oop, come on. There we go. Something like that. And then we need more of the bridge of his nose. Actually, it needs to be centered a little bit. Oh, actually, I think I could get away with just moving this one. Something like that. I think it is another one of these in here. It's crazy to think when I started this project that like ThemeMaker, I'm pretty sure ThemeMaker's toolkit was not a thing. I can only imagine what this would, like, the potential of a ride like this with like actual well-modeled Titans and everything. But honestly, still like the challenge of having to do it just with the pieces that I have. I think it's part of the fun of it for me. And also probably part of the reason why it takes absolutely forever. But you know, where's the fun in it if you're not struggling a little bit? I could get that Widow's Peak in there actually if I use a smaller piece. Something like this. Yes, it's just, he's got a horn. He's a unicorn. Let's fix that. Center it a little better. Just gonna go FNAF animatronic over here. There we go. And then let's make the sides of his head a little bulkier. See how much of this I can salvage, or I'll just have to do the rest kind of by hand. I think it's pretty good. I might want to shorten up the hair a little bit. Make this bottom section more the flesh color. Let's save that palette. Yeah, something like that. Again, just to make them a little more differentiated. Yeah, I like that already. It's already getting... I have to move these. It's already getting a much different like feel to this specific one as compared to what it came from, which is exactly what we wanted. So let's keep going. Try to make it as symmetrical as possible. Projects like these that I really wish we had a mirror tool, but I'm pretty sure they're done ever updating this game, so we must struggle. Makes it all the more rewarding, am I right? Put this back in. Complete the rest of the head. I'm gonna go in and like tweak a little bit. I just want the general shape right now. His head needs to be completed first before I can add details. The most important angle is the front too, so we just want to make sure that it doesn't look weird from the front. I think this is pretty good. Could try with making his head a little more square, like the one in the reference photo, although we're not trying to stick to it perfectly. Doesn't matter, but I think it would look okay. Let's give it a try. Yeah, something like that might work. I can add another large bit over here. Do it like that. Make it a little straighter, actually. Looks like it's got horns. Oh, welcome back. No problem. Just been chilling out. Working bit by bit on this guy. I think the way that the head is shaped, it might be better to have two of these kind of moving like this. Something like that. That's pretty good. It needs to be taller though. Get rid of these little horns. Something like that. Let's level it out a bit. Something like that. Because this guy has more of like a flat head. Maybe move it over. There we go. And then we just gotta fill in the back of his head because his head is extremely flat.